Come on and hear the music.
Now our next guest, Miss Anonymous, has become somewhat of a hip-hop pioneer, or musical pioneer, I guess, combining lyrics, song, and a hip-hop beat to create great music. Let's check her out. So, Anonymous, welcome. It's nice to have you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me. It's glad to be here.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get started in music?
Actually, when I finished college, I was sitting around my house one day and just started to write, and just songs just kept coming out of me. And I was telling the guy I was dating at the time, I said, if I don't do something with this, I'm going to go crazy. And I came across this guy that was doing guitar lessons. And started doing some work with him, and then the guy I was dating introduced me to a producer by the name of Jules, and I was with their label Infinite Soul Music for about 8 years, 9 years, and then this past 2 years I've kind of broke out on my own and have been writing and working with a producer by the name of 8 Cents, and also a band called the Bangladesh Project. So it's just evolving among many other artists I had the blessing to work with. So it's been a ride.
So the Bangladesh Project, what is that about? What does it involve?
Well, the Bangladesh Project is a band. It's a 5-piece band out of the Baltimore area. Keys, drum, flute, bass guitar, lead guitar. They're an awesome group of individuals. Shout out to Bangladesh Project. I had the blessing to, I've known the band leader, his name is Bangla. That's where he originated the name of the band. And I've known him for several years. And one day we ran into each other at a performance through Liberated Muse called the Capital Hip Hop Soul Fest. And he was like, hey, come through our studio setup and see what's going on and see if, you want to do some stuff with us. And that was going on 2 years ago. And ever since then, we've just been creating like a good live feel. And I've been fortunate to get that live feel. I mean, I love to perform, especially with live instruments. It's the best.
Yeah, shout out to the Bangladesh Project, I really don't know how it feels to be stressed out. When you're face to face with your adversity.
So you say that you're doing the Bangladesh Project out in Baltimore. Your family, do they support your music, or are they a big inspiration of yours for your music as well?
Actually, they are a big supporter. My mothers, my fathers, my cousins, my aunts, my sisters, they've supported my music. They've come to my shows, and then I try to write things that are about life, that is a reflection of things that he wants us to learn, and it's also a good time. It doesn't have to be always serious, but I try to have a nice balance between something of substance as well as something lighthearted as well.
So what is it like working with 8 Cents?
8 Cents, he is actually, the whole process with us is pretty awesome. It's a real peaceful environment when I work with him. I go to a studio and he'll be playing me something, and we'll come up with a concept, or he'll come up with something, or I'll come up with something. And a lot of times, as of late, we just write things off the cuff, and it's just been a good mesh. I've had the blessing with both him and with the Bangladesh project to create something that's of a good sound. I mean, I try to take pride in everything I do, including when I was with Infinite Soul Music, but I just feel blessed that I'm with people and things are clicking, you know, because you don't always have a good click or a good combination when you're creating music with other people. So I'm blessed to say that I do.
Well, have you done a lot of collaborations with other artists as well? Or tell us who else you've worked with.
I had the opportunity to work with a gentleman by the name of West Coast, which we met him in Japan. 8 Cents and I were doing a show over in Osaka, Japan last year, and it was like one of the best things ever. Also, Sean Torre. I recently did a collab with a Brownfish. He's a really well-known, popular MC in Baltimore. Enoch, Seventh Prophet. I've worked with Sons of Soul, Sean Struggle. I've done some stuff. Well, I haven't been in the studio yet, but I've had an opportunity to do background performances with female MCs like Voice, Wombat. He's an MC out of Baltimore. It's a lot of. I can't even really think of everybody that I've worked with, but it's been a pleasure to have that chance.
It sounds like an awesome ride.
Yeah, and a project I was also involved in it's booming now. It's called Lipstick Revolt, which is with this female MC from the DC area called Mana, and she raps in Farsis, which is I forgot, Iranian. So just being able to work with other artists and really feeling like, you know, it's a mutual respect there. It's been really a pleasure. So
I can't wait to hear that. It sounds like a lot of fun. Tell us a little bit about the hip hop group that you guys formed with 8 Cents. Okay,
well, actually, how it happened was initially I submitted my music to a event in Osaka called the Kansai Music Fest. And they liked my music that I did, and I was like, well, I really want to do something and make a good impression. And I know that 8 Cents, I actually met him through the Bangladesh project. And I know he went to Japan on numerous occasions. So I was like, hey, would you be interested in going with me to Japan and do something? And he's like, sure. So I was working on and finishing up now a project with a producer out of California called Reverb. I was doing some songs with him, and we also added some songs with 8 Cents. And it was really a good performance. We opened up for a lot of well-known hip-hop artists that were doing a tour. So we were like the introduction to that tour in Osaka, which was awesome. But before we got there, we did a couple of songs, and one song became 3 songs, and we were like, you know what, let's do an album. And from that, we just kind of tinkered around with names, and, you know, we decided on Anonamas, which is 8 Cents or Anonymous, and it just all came together, and it's just been a good fit.
How did it feel to be in Japan?
It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. The people were really friendly, inviting. They embrace other cultures, and I learned so much when I was there, and I would love to go back, and I made a lot of good friends there when I went.
So as far as the show in Japan, was it like a big hip hop fest, or was it various types of music? How did it feel to be in a different country, kind of like pouring your heart to people you don't know?
Right. Well, it was a ride. Actually, we opened up for a hip hop club called Club Life, and it was the main headline was a MC by the name of Ghetto Socks. He's from Canada, and it was him and like DJ Vegas and West Coast and all of these other awesome MCs on there, and another group called Beats and Baby Miso. They were awesome, like hip hop. I can't even describe them, but they're their own conglomerate. And we got to open for all of that. So we kind of made that stamp. People were like, oh, okay. I mean, we really set a good impression, and that was exciting. And then from that, we did another performance at the Osaka Museum of History, which was totally different, and got to meet people and do things. And then we done little interviews and kind of toured the countryside and got to see a lot of people and culture and ate good food. So it was an adventure.
It sounds like a lot of fun. Definitely sounds like a lot of fun. What do you plan on going to other countries in the future, or back to Japan maybe to do?
Yeah, I would really.
shows?
Yeah, I would really love to go back to Japan. And actually, I've been to London twice. I went when I was with Infinite Soul Music, and shout out to Futuristica and Sammy Goldburn and all those people I met over there. Awesome group of people. I'm looking forward to going back there. I really actually miss London, and I want to go back, but I would love to go to Japan, and I would also like to go to South Africa and France, just if I got the chance. If that's what should be, shall it be? So we'll see.
As far as the United States, have you been in different states over here and performed, for example, maybe in the South or the West Coast? Where have you done some stuff around?
I've done a show up in New York. It was called Live from Planet Earth. I did that a couple years ago. And I've also done some performances in Philadelphia with the Black Women's Art Festival. And I've also been down in Atlanta at 5 Points area and done some radio interviews and in-store promotions for a CD store called Moods Music, which is like the mecca of underground music down in Atlanta. So I really had the opportunity to do that. And I would hope to go over to the West Coast and do some stuff. We'll see.
What keeps you going?
My inspiration is just, like I said, God. And actually, the end of this year, I'm going to kind of take a break and reassess and just see where He wants me to be. I believe that, people can use music for good as well as bad. And I just want to make sure that I'm using it the way He sees fit, in a way that will uplift people, because I think things are getting rougher as far as the world that we live in, and people need something to uplift their spirits to keep them going. So that's where I feel my journey's going.
Where can we get some of your albums?
You can check out my first album through Infinite Soul Music. You can check it out on infinitesoulmusic.com. It's also available on CD Baby and iTunes. And I just released 2 albums. One, I was the lead vocalist for the Bangladesh Project album. That's available on CD Baby and iTunes as well.
So we can find her on Facebook, Twitter?
Yes, I'm on Twitter. You can look me up you can Google me, just type in, it's Anonamas, Anonamas. So it's spelled differently than the regular name.
Well, it's definitely great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Learned a lot today, and I hope to see you in the future. We can't wait to hear the next album.
Oh, thanks. I'm really looking forward to finishing up. Actually, we're going to re-release the Bangladesh album, and as well as the producer I'm working with in California, we're putting together an album called Nonverbal, which will be coming out before the end of the year. And the Anonamas thing, we're still doing that, so it's just a lot of things on the plate right now.
Okay, we'll hear it soon.
Yes.
If you'd like to see more of our show, or maybe even be featured on the show, go to our website, www.scipio-productions.com. I'd also like to thank Maddie D and Miss Anonymous for coming and sitting with us on the show. This is Alex, and you've been watching Musically Hot in the DMV. Until next time.